Good day everyone, this is Patrick from EasyFX Code Trading System, and this is Sunday, the 12th of January 2020, and this is the weekly analysis for spot gold and dollar yen for the second week of January. And this is spot gold where after Wednesday's analysis where gold spiked through the weekly R3 pivot level to hit a high of 1611. Due to the geopolitical tensions with Iran, and after Iran started firing over a dozen missiles into a US airbase in Iraq, and stated that they concluded the revenge on the assassination of their top general. Things have cooled off, tensions have eased, and cooler heads have prevailed, and good thing that there were no casualties reported. So with that, the markets have returned in a full risk-on mode, and spot gold retraced all the way back to almost hit the weekly pivot over the 2 days, and spectacular reversal of over 700 pips. Do check out my Trader of the Week as well, where I did the retracement move on the Monday after the gap up. So that's an aside to watch out for. So after retracing lower, just below the 1550 level, then on Friday with lower than expected jobs report from the US, it managed to recover somewhat and climb back up to the 1560 area. All right. So for this week, there is some US news with CPI on Tuesday and PPI on Wednesday, with retail sales and Philly Fed manufacturing index on Thursday, and a couple other minor ones on Friday with housing starts and as well as consumer sentiment. So even with the lower than expected US non-farm payroll report last Friday, may not impact the decision on the Fed, because they've already stated that they will hold for an extended period, so there may not be any change. And even with lower than expected jobs numbers, it was anticipated that because of the season that it was expected to be lower as well, although the ADP figures on Wednesday was better than expected. So we'll see what this new coming week will bring. But with such a long-legged wick here, there's a lot of sellers above the weekly R2 pivot level. So maybe some consolidation between the 1550 to 1570 area, and maybe up to 1575. And we'll see what the new weekly pivots are for next week. So now we'll leave this as the support zone still, where the previous swing high was. And let's take a look at the weekly chart, and it's basically a long-legged doji. So it's going to be consolidation with unlikely there's going to be any breakout on either side, especially on the higher side. So support is at the 100 pip level, where the swing high is at 1557. Alright, let's move back to the daily time frame. And we may be able to remove some of these levels. Let's see. This one here at a 78 fib level, this likely we should be able to remove that because it's close enough to that swing high up here. So let's remove that one. And we'll leave the rest for now, but the next level, if it goes below the support at the 786 fib, there's going to be further support at 1517. Right. So anyway, let's move on to the dollar yen. So you can see this long spike and bounce from the support level just below the 108 level and down to hit the 62 fib retracement level at 107.70, and that's where the recovery started from after news of a de-escalation and very strong move by the yen, and recovered all the way back up to hit the now a sloping trend line where it has hit and got rejected multiple times already. And we'll see whether this is going to be another rejection or just a slight pullback and a follow through to break above this swing high at the 109.70 area. So initially there could be a pullback, and we'll see whether there's support down at this previous resistance. And let's change this. Alright, and we may be able to remove some of these levels here, like this one here at 107, which is close to the 78 fib area. So but for now we'll just leave it first. A couple of key support zones below the 108, and let's switch to the weekly time frame, and you can see this strong bullish engulfing candle. So right back to the weekly 200 EMA, and there could be a follow through to attempt to hit the 110 level. So we'll see whether any of the economic news next week will support that. Right. There is also the phase 1 deal between US and China that's going to be signed on the 15th of January, and that's the China delegation is flying over on Monday to start that process and to finalize it on Wednesday. Right, so for now, this is going to be resistance up at the swing high. Let's just mark that. And support from the 109 level at the 21 fib. So in this 60 to 70 pip zone. there is further support from the monthly pivot at the 108.93. So this zone is going to be a strong area of support at the 109 area. All right, and it could be also a larger triangle that's forming. But in the meantime, with the market in a risk-on mode, the dollar yen is correlated with the markets, and it's looking bullish in the short term. Alright, so do check out my other videos on the weekly Ichimoku analysis as well on Euro and Cable, as well as my technical analysis on Euro, Cable and Aussie dollar. And we'll follow up on Wednesday midweek. And have a good trading week, and cheers.